JJ, welcome to Breakdown. Basketball time. We always do SEC and Big Ten. So let's break it down, SEC and Big Ten. But before we break down the conference tournaments, let us talk about the President of the United States, who on March the 6th had a roundtable meeting with some prominent athletic directors and powers to be. What happened at that roundtable meeting?
Yeah, at that roundtable, he had all of the Power Four commissioners. Yankees baseball owner Adam Silver was there. Nick Saban was there. It was a who's who of people. The interesting thing that happened was President Trump said that he was going to have the solution to everyone in that room's problems.
And what is the problem in that room? What was the problem?
I don't know, but he said that we would all find out within a week via executive order because he said he was gonna. That was the way that he was gonna administer that.
So
So
what you're telling me is that by Friday, this coming Friday, the day is Wednesday.
Friday the 13th,
By
March 13th.
Friday, we will have an executive order from President Trump that's going to solve the financial problems, transfer portals, all the NIL stuff, all the problems that college athletics has.
Well, unless you think our president is a liar, then yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen because that's what he said.
I'm never going to call the president of these United States to be a liar.
Well,
I'm going to say all these problems will be solved with an executive order, and I can't wait for Friday to get here. And because maybe they in Arkansas can keep some of their athletes, and they won't be jumping to other schools for more money. But
maybe they can.
maybe they can. You want to talk basketball? Because it is the madness.
You know what? I'm getting that itch. I'm getting that fever.
It is the madness. Collective sanity is called madness. So we're all mad, JJ, because we're collectively a part of this madness. And it's right now it's the Big Ten. Well, it's conference, not just the Big Ten. It's conference time, conference tournament time. The Big Ten started theirs in Chicago yesterday. For all those who probably nobody saw, but Maryland played Oregon in that game. First game yesterday in the Big Ten tournament in Chicago.
But yeah,
Did you
Maryland
see the first half of that game, JJ?
I did not see a second of the first half, but I
Oh, you
did.
missed it. What happened in the first half? Let me tell you what happened.
I saw almost a baker's dozen worth of points were put up, but not quite.
Oregon played Maryland. At the end of the halftime, score was 24-12,
33 to 12.
33-12.
Don't
JJ,
shortchange Maryland like that.
how can you be playing the four corners with a shot clock? Because that's why they only got 12, right?
I don't know. I didn't watch that game,
Oh,
but
that's right. You said you didn't watch it. Can you believe 12 points in 20 minutes of playing basketball? In a tournament, no less.
that's tough. I mean, the thing about it was, you would think that the lower seeded team would be the team that had the 12, but no, it was Maryland, the upset minded Terrapins that
On
were
top
dominating them.
with 20, 30, 33 points.
Yeah, I
at
did see the
halftime.
final score was 70-60. So
So
shout out to kudos to Oregon for mustering that whole 48 points. They quadrupled their output from the first half.
if they scored 48 in the first half, JJ, I think they would have won that game.
I think you know what, I think you might have been right.
But that was the first day. The second day, Maryland lost to Iowa earlier today. And also USC lost in a thrilling overtime game to Washington. They lost 79-83. So Washington moves on to play Wisconsin. But JJ, potentially, I want to talk about, before we talk about specific games, I want to talk about some bubble teams.
Yeah.
Are Who are some bubble teams in the Big Ten right now?
Well, you just mentioned one when you referenced USC. Unfortunately for them, they lost their fourth game in a row. I mean, they lost three
Yeah.
straight regular season games, and then with that loss to Washington, they didn't win a single game,
And plus, they lost their key player.
and they lost their leading scorer Chad Baker Mazara. So yeah, USC. I think they're cooked personally, but they're still on the bubble technically. But if there are any bid stealers out there, USC is going to be one of the first teams to be checking the NIT is what I would say. So they're a bubble team in the conference. Iowa's a bubble team, but luckily for them, they got that win over Maryland. Had they lost to Maryland, that would have been a very bad demerit.
Interestingly, JJ, I was a bubble team, and tomorrow They play Ohio State, who I call a bubble team as well. Uh,
I mean, there are a bubble team, but that win that they got
over Purdue.
over Purdue, I mean, it's not. It doesn't hold the same weight. Purdue's actually taken, it's just actually one of a plethora of losses that Purdue has taken this year. So obviously they haven't lived up to their preseason number
Purdue's
one
a
ranking.
7 seed in this tournament, the Big Ten tournament.
I mean, they're still probably a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, but yeah, that just goes to show how deep the Big Ten is and how upsetting of a season Purdue has had.
So Iowa, if they win tomorrow's game against Ohio State, you think Ohio State is still in the Big Dance?
Oh yeah, I think that win was enough to seal their fate. I mean,
Okay.
I think
Is Iowa win today over Maryland? Do they need to beat Ohio State tomorrow?
if they want to feel comfortable about it, they need to beat Ohio State. I mean, they're not in the same situation that USC is in when it comes to bid thieves, but they are absolutely susceptible. They're vulnerable. I think Miami of Ohio is getting in regardless. So
absolutely,
undefeated
Miami of Ohio.
So if they were to lose in the before
in their conference tournament,
in the conference tournament, I mean, I would think their neighbors in Columbus probably wouldn't be too happy with the Athens, Ohio.
You may be right.
Yeah, brethren.
You may be right.
So I think it just depends on what happens in the tournaments.
There's one other bubble team in the Big Ten, Indiana. They will play tonight. They will play Northwestern because Northwestern defeated Penn State yesterday. How badly does Indiana need to defeat Northwestern, or is Indiana in? Indiana's a 10 seed in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, they're a 10 seed. They absolutely need to beat Northwestern because Northwestern isn't a team that's they're not going to get in that large spot.
No, they're not.
So you should say the 10 loss to Northwestern. I'm not sure. I think that's a quad 2 loss. But that's still not good. You don't want Indiana's not in a position where they can weather quad 2 losses right now. So they really have to come to play and at least beat Northwestern. I mean, after that, I think they're fine.
Okay.
But you gotta beat Northwestern.
In my mind, all of these conference tournaments, even though they start on a Wednesday and Tuesday for the Big Ten, it doesn't really start until Friday. So let's talk about some potential matchup for, I'm going to say Saturday. We'll stay with Friday. Michigan's going to play the winner of Ohio State, Iowa. To me, that's a no-brainer. Michigan win that. Michigan gets to a Saturday game. Michigan could potentially play Illinois again. Illinois is the 4 seed.
Well, they better hope they get Illinois and not Wisconsin. You saw what happened last time.
Yeah, but Wisconsin, one of the few teams that was able to beat Michigan this year.
Very few.
Wisconsin has to beat Washington and beat Illinois in order to get to Michigan. So, but I'm just going to assume it's going to be Illinois. Michigan beats Illinois to get to the championship game.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as assume that because I think Wisconsin also beat Illinois. So
okay.
Wisconsin is no joke to play with. They got Boyd and Blackman, and what I say about March, you got the best backcourt. You can take it a long way. Now, having said that, if Illinois were to play Michigan, Illinois absolutely could beat Michigan. There's not a lot of teams in the country that can match up with the front court size that Michigan has, and most of them are 1 seeds. Most of them are in Durham or Tucson, but Illinois is absolutely one of those teams that has the size to match up with Michigan. I don't think they have the athletes.
Okay.
So if it turns into any type of track meet, Illinois will have to be incredibly deliberate with the pacing and they have to limit their turnovers. But Illinois could absolutely beat Michigan.
But the top of that bracket, I'm going to say Michigan comes out.
I will too.
Okay.
I mean,
then I'm going to go to the bottom of the bracket, Jay. There's Nebraska, Michigan State, Purdue, and UCLA. Potentially Nebraska and Purdue would play each other. Purdue was a preseason number 1, 2, 3. They were preseason
number 1 team in the country.
So Nebraska is the number 2 seed in this conference tournament. How do you see that game potentially if it happens?
Yeah,
Purdue and Nebraska.
I mean, I think Purdue matches up very well with Nebraska. But I also think Nebraska matches up very well with Purdue. It's so weird to think about Nebraska being the favorite over Purdue in basketball.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean Nebraska's been rolling. They've been playing pretty well. Like they had some injury issues that I think led to their a little bit of an in-season dip. But I like Nebraska to come through to beat Purdue if that were to happen.
Okay. And Nebraska potentially, Michigan State and UCLA will play. Michigan State already beat UCLA pretty badly earlier this year. So I'm assuming Michigan State wins that game. And Michigan State and Nebraska hook up. Nebraska beat Michigan State earlier this year, JJ. Earlier this season at Nebraska.
Yep.
If they play again, who you got?
Oh, on a neutral, I will take Nebraska again. I'll take the number 2 seed because, Nebraska and Michigan have some things to settle. I think it dates back to 1997 in football, but you see how the coach of the year vote was split. Dusty May won the media conference coach of the year, and Nebraska's Fred Hoiberg won the coach of the year. So
Right.
they like to split Nebraska and Michigan when it comes to championships. So I think it's only right that Nebraska and Michigan meet for the championship.
Well, you know
decided
what?
on the court.
I'm going to say Michigan State's going to beat Nebraska on a neutral court in Chicago.
How did I had a feeling you might say something like
So,
that.
so
I had
this,
a
this,
feeling you
this is
might.
what I'm going to say. I'm going to say on
Now, Fred Hoiberg's from Chicago. That's his. Well, he's from Ames, but he played in Chicago.
I'm going to say on Sunday it's going to be Michigan State versus Michigan for a third time. Now, Michigan can beat Michigan State one time. Michigan can beat Michigan State 2 times. But Michigan cannot beat Michigan State 3 times.
I agree because they'll be playing Nebraska for the championship. I agree completely.
So, okay, hypothetically, Michigan, Nebraska, how you see that game?
Michigan's gonna win the tournament.
JJ, what does Michigan gain by winning the tournament?
Trophy.
That's it. That's a lot of sweat for a trophy.
It won't be that much sweat. I don't think it will be that much. Honestly,
Well, JJ, who's the player of the year in the Big Ten?
that would be the one Yaxel Lindeborg transfer from Birmingham of Alabama.
Yes, Michigan's point guard.
He's gonna have to play point guard, similar to Carlos Boozer's son, Cameron Boozer.
Yeah.
Michigan, they lost their backup point guard. Duke lost their starting point guard. So, yeah.
So, the player of the year in the conference for Michigan, the all conference team of the Big Ten included Keaton Wagler. He was also freshman of the year.
Yeah.
The Michigan player you just mentioned, Jeremy Fears, was first team all conference. Nebraska had a member, and so did Purdue. Nebraska, Price Sanford, and Purdue, Braden Smith. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was supposed to be the player of the year, but he had a disappointing season. But he still, he took over the all-time assist leader title. You can't take that from him. So
That's right.
congrats to Braden Smith and his career. I mean, this is his last shot, but he's been to a title game. He's a 4-year starter. He's done a lot, and I think he's gonna want to go out on his own terms. So I think this might be a real opportunity for him.
So JJ, in this Big Ten tournament, Michigan or the field, who do you have?
I have Michigan, because I think that Michigan will have something to prove. Not as much by winning this tournament, but just developing. Like they're gonna have to get reps with their backup point guard. I mean, it's gonna be a combination of Yaxel and other people handling the ball, but they're gonna have to get reps and fill in those 19 minutes a game that LJ Kaysen provided in those 9 points a game that he provided. So I think that they actually have things that they need to work on because of that situation. So I think that's why Michigan will be motivated to win it.
Okay, so JJ got Michigan against the field. Let's go south. That you have more in the Big Ten you want to talk about.
That's about it for Michigan and the Big Ten, or that's about it for the Big Ten. The only thing I will say is that Michigan went undefeated on the road for the first time in 50 years, exactly 50 years.
For a Big Ten team.
For a Big Ten team, exactly 50 years ago, Indiana did the exact same thing.
Bobby Knight.
But they did it a little bit better. Rest in peace, Bobby Knight. Yeah, because they didn't lose to anyone in conference or out of conference the entire time.
Going undefeated on the road in the Big Ten is in any conference is pretty much a big deal.
Yeah.
And hats off to Michigan. They performed pretty well. They've beaten. I mean, they had probably 20 to 25 double-digit wins this year.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can't take anything away from them.
Yeah.
We'll see how much they missed their backup point guard in the tournament. But going down south, JJ, SEC,
Yeah.
Florida or the field, who you got?
Ooh, that's a good question. Florida has been playing lights out. Has there been a team in the SEC that can match up with them this year? I'm gonna go with the field.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the field because I just, as well as Xavier Lee's been playing, as well as everyone in their front court has been playing, I think Boogie Flan's gonna be the wink link for Florida. I hate to say it because he's a former Razorback, but
Florida don't need their backcourt to be the winning piece for them.
yeah, they don't. But so I think they will if they match up with a team that has the front court size to match up with them. And for the most part, nobody in the SEC has that. Kentucky does. Kentucky actually matched up well against Florida when it comes to the front court. But I also think a team like Alabama could just beat them, just hit a lot of threes and beat them, just beat them that way.
Okay. You mentioned Kentucky.
But also, I think there's a difference because Michigan in the Big Ten, they're decided number one seed. No matter what happens, they could lose by 40 points and they'd still be a number one seed. Mm-hmm. Florida's not in that same situation. Florida is in the running for the last number one seed. They're in the running with UConn. Because the other number one seeds are Arizona and Duke. Those teams does not matter what happens. Arizona, Duke, Michigan, they could lose by 30 points the next game. They're all going to be one seeds. But the UConn, Florida, the last one seed is up for grabs between UConn and Florida. And I don't know. I think that
Florida was a one seed last year when they won it all, right?
I do believe that.
They were.
It was all one seeds that made it to the Final Four last year.
That's true. Florida, they're trying this year for back-to-back. When the last time that happened, Jay? Back-to-back national champions.
Florida was the last time that happened, yeah.
Florida's last team to do it.
But it wasn't Todd Golden there. It was Billy Donovan.
That's right. And they had this Lansing native on their team. Well,
Grand Ledge. Suburb of Lansing.
Yeah.
Al Horford, he's still playing in the NBA. Second oldest player in the NBA, but he's still playing.
Hats off to Al Horford.
Yep.
JJ, let's talk about the SEC. Who are the bubble teams?
Bubble teams in the SEC, that's a good question. Well, we know who one bubble team is because certain commentators won't stop talking about their son deserving a shot to be in over the Miami of Ohio's of the world. So we know Auburn's a bubble team. Fortunately for them, they're still a bubble team. And they lost today.
Auburn won today.
Yes,
they
lost.
Beat Mississippi State.
Yes,
in the SEC.
And they needed to win because they were 16-15 coming into that game.
Yeah, I think they got off the bubble. The worst that Auburn can do now is go to Dayton.
I think 17-16. I think that there are plenty of opportunities for bid stealers outside of just the mid-American conference. True. So I'm not gonna put them in Sharpie just yet.
So you tell me they have to beat Tennessee tomorrow in order to with a win
feel comfortable on Sunday.
Okay.
If you would like to feel comfortable, if you'd like to relax on Sunday, I would advise beating Tennessee. Okay. If you would like to be like biting your nails over the weekend, watching every.
I got you. I hear what you're saying. Let's talk about Texas. Texas is a bubble team.
They are a bubble team. I think they're a little bit more solidly on a little bit more solid ground than Auburn as of right now, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, Texas tonight playing Ole Miss. Texas is a 10 seed in the SEC conference, and Ole Miss is a 15 seed.
Yeah.
Texas is a bubble team. Is Oklahoma a bubble team, JJ?
It's Oklahoma a bubble team. I think that they're on the wrong side of the bubble. I think there's similar situations to USC in the Big Ten. But I think that they're technically on the bubble. I mean, I think if everything goes right, there are no bid thieves. Miami, Ohio wins. VCU wins the Atlantic 10, tournament. All of that. If all of that happens, they could make it in Oklahoma. They're they're still a bubble team, but they need everything to go right.
JJ, before you and I sit down and started doing this, we had talked about how many teams from each conference was in. You said that the Big Ten was going to get 10 in, right?
I said 10. How many do you think?
I think they get 10.
Okay.
How many does the SEC get in?
I said 10 to that too.
Okay, I think both conferences get 10 teams into the tournament. But JJ, let's talk about some potential matchup in this game. On the top line, I really don't see Florida. I mean, they would match up with potentially Missouri, Kentucky,
Yeah.
on Friday. I think because if they play Kentucky, it would be the third game for Kentucky. I think Florida will handle them because of fatigue. Missouri, I think Florida is a much better team. So I think Florida moves on to there. And then Florida would potentially match up with either Tennessee or Vanderbilt, my guess. Would either of those teams give Florida any problem, Tennessee or Vanderbilt?
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee could. I mean, Tennessee has a couple of, great players. Yeah, Nate Ament, Jacoby Gillespie.
Gillespie was first team all SEC.
Yeah. So, I mean, Tennessee always could, but,
Tyler,
I think
Tyler Tanner from Vandy was also first team SEC.
Yeah, I think Tennessee just has a little bit more firepower than Vandy.
Okay.
It was great of a start that Vandy got off to.
Vandy beat Tennessee in Tennessee last game of the season this year.
They sure did.
Yeah.
They sure did. And I still think
it'll be interesting to see if them hook up again on Friday. It'd just be interesting.
It would be.
JJ, let's go to the bottom half of the bracket. Alabama is the 2 seed. Arkansas is the 3 seed. They played the game of the century. The game of the season earlier this year in Alabama.
Well, almost. Didn't end right.
And Alabama won in overtime.
They did, but this guy,
Darius Acuff, number 5.
he put up 50.
Man. SEC Player of the Year, JJ Darius Acuff.
And Freshman of the Year.
Freshman of the Year being the Player of the Year in the conference. That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's also not too rare under Coach Cal. He seems to do that a lot.
Okay.
But at least he's doing it for the right colors now. He was doing it for the wrong colors for too long.
Okay, JJ, I see Alabama and Georgia meeting up. I mean, Alabama and Arkansas meeting up again on Saturday. This is a neutral court. This is not in Alabama. This will be in Nashville. Can Arkansas take away a victory?
Yeah, I would expect Arkansas to have a larger presence. Alabama doesn't. I mean, they can sometimes show out for the SEC, tournament depending on, how football season went and things like that. But I expect Arkansas to be one of the teams like Tennessee, like Vanderbilt, and like Kentucky to have an incredibly strong presence at the conference. So
Well,
I would expect Arkansas to win.
Win against Alabama. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Arkansas play Florida. They match up again on Florida on Sunday. The first time that was uglier than ugly. Will it be? Do you have any reason to hope things will be different? Florida just destroyed Arkansas. Is there a reason to believe that Arkansas could turn it around or even make it a contest?
I mean, they got to utilize their fouls a little bit better, and they got to figure out. No, Arkansas just does not match up well with Florida, honestly.
Okay, I agree.
It just don't match up.
Okay, JJ. Years ago, for more than 2 decades, the SEC conference tournament was called the Kentucky Invitation. What's going on? It's not the Kentucky Invitation anymore.
Well, Kentucky got invited a day earlier. This is the first time that they ever got
That's
invited to play on Wednesday. So that's just more SEC tournament for them. It just means more. So just luckily for them, they get more of the SEC tournament to appreciate.
Okay. Obviously, for the SEC tournament, even though it's playing in Nashville, the home team, fan-wise, will be Kentucky. For the Big Ten tournament, who's going to have the most fans in Chicago? Illinois?
I think it's got to be Nebraska ball. I mean, they've not had the year that they wanted in football. I mean, it was Matt Rule's 3rd year, and everyone's his 3rd year at Temple, his 3rd year at Baylor, and then his 3rd year at Nebraska. I think that they have some frustrations, and they just want to, enjoy and celebrate. And they had the best regular season in the history of the program. Fred Hoiberg entered the year on the hot seat, and he left the year with the Coach of the Year hardware. So I think Nebraska fans are going to want to relish in that, and they're going to want to celebrate because,
Okay.
I don't even know if they went to a bowl game and if they won or not. I have no idea. Like, Nebraska is, football is not where they want it to be. So
Nebraska's going to be like Indiana. Indiana used to be a basketball team, now they're a football team. So you're telling me Nebraska has become a basketball school?
I mean, like it or not, that's what's happening.
Okay. I think Illinois will rule the fan base in Chicago. But Michigan's going to travel well. Michigan State's going to show up. Everybody's going to make some noise down there. But Michigan walks away with the Big Ten tournament, and Florida walks away with the SEC tournament trophy. That's my prediction.
I think I would agree.
I think we're pretty done, JJ, until the brackets come out Sunday.
It's almost here.
And once we analyze the bracket, we're going to come back, JJ, and present our presentation on the bracket. But until then, WPS, Wool Pig Suey.
I agree.
What you got?
I agree.
WPS?
Yeah.
Say it out loud.
I don't have to.
Okay. We out of here. Boom.